That would just make life complicated.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I think we're going to appear next to get the cold damage over time. And also, once we get to the place in the mines where there's a waypoint, we're going to go straight for the lab.
Places.
Just to get some extra power off the ascendancies. We're going Occultist because it has the cold damage over time effect. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going for the 2 curses or not. I'm probably going to go for the energy shield and the power charge
When
buff.
I'm ready, and not before.
Because that makes you immune to stun as well as cold and freeze. What the hell? Right, my resistors are screwed. They've got to be. That needs to be rectified. They're not screwed. What the hell is doing all the damage? I suppose it's because I haven't invested a lot in any life. That we're gonna have to do that. Temporary life until we get enough energy shield to fail. Boss. Don't hit me.
I need more mana.
Repent! To save purity!
Look at the purity and then we walk.
Purity! You trespass! Answer to God!
Too far out. And he's down.
Thaumaturgy just keeps getting the better of you, doesn't it, Vol?
Actually, we got a level here. I should probably just go back to town. Go over on the lap. We should. But I should have switched it. Yeah, if I was doing something like Armageddon, Bandit would have all died. I am not 50 who likes cheese. Rude.
You will be remembered.
But I'll let you up.
Bye.
That would just make
Let's
life
up,
complicated.
get to the next waypoint, and then that is it.
Ooh.
Can't believe I've died twice. I always tend to get those if they drop currency. You don't really need it if you've got leveling gear. That's pretty quick. Let's swap these out for those. Swap that out for this. Let's ditch this lot. Now in mine level 2 there is a lovely lady who I think you kill her and she gives you a skill. Well, stop killing me.
I think it likes me.
It definitely doesn't like you. It's trying to kill you. Delusional woman.
When I'm ready, and not before.
This one, Death Shred.
There are so many more trapped spirits in this place. I can feel them.
Yeah, well, we're not saving them. She's the only one worth the skill.
I need more mana.
I like to be nice, but you know, there's time wasted. I would normally reroll on deaths if it was that early, but I'm running at such a decent time that I don't want to.
Don't be frightened, little mountain. It'll all be
Besides, I
right
mean,
soon.
part of this is to, you know, try an unknown skill, see how it works. I'm glad I didn't do it at league start. Because all its damage is at the end of the attack. But, you know, we're proving it out. Used with a lot of health and energy shield, we'll be fine. And I'm completely lost. No, I haven't got a chest on. Ugh! Yeah, well, until I can use the 6 links without running out of mana, I won't do it. But also, a chest slows you down by 3%, so that 3% movement speed just means you're running faster without it. So yeah, I only put a chest on when it's going to be beneficial. Early on, the ones that give you +1 are much better. I actually normally don't put a belt on until sort of end of Act 4. Or maybe end of Act 3 sometimes if you manage to get a 4 link with the right links, then it's worth it.
Ta-ta!
Did I say belt? I meant chest. No, thank you. I'm gonna go to bed after I finished here. Yeah, I'm using the energy shield belt you've got me. I think before I run lab, I will switch over to the 6-link chest and probably roll off one of the things, auras. It wasn't a massive amount, to be fair. I've got about 130 energy shield and 568 life. Now, the problem with the witch is she's got no life close by, which is a bit annoying. So I think I'm going to have to go for... Oh, I should have gone for energy shield instead of that cold damage. Actually, did I finish getting the... No, I didn't. I should get that as well. I'm going to roll those off, actually. Put one in... one there, and let's go for... not that one. Energy shield. It's done very little difference. It's added 4 energy shield because I've got such a low base. Actually, do I have the helmet that gives me energy shield? I do, but then I'm going to lose resist. Level 36. Oh, it's corrupted. Yeah, that's probably nice to switch over to. Put that. There.
I'm watching you.
Actually, let's get the skill book better already. massive 138 energy shield. Right, I'm going to finish it for the night. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. She'll be back on tomorrow, probably about 9 o'clock, so I have work until about 8. Good night all. Sleep well. Okay, I'm back. Now, something's changed since we last were running. And that's the whole character. I got to around Act 7 with 18 deaths. The character just... it's really, really bad to level with. So I've made some changes. The tree's pretty much intact, but I have rolled some health on. But the biggest change is I'm no longer using
To kill a man.
Wintertide to
Yes?
destroy mobs. Wintertide is the boss killer because it's incredibly effective at killing
Bye.
bosses. Okay, so we're going to go straight to the lab, because this is where we was when we left off in the last video. The big change is this: we're using Creeping Frost on a 4-link, which is Creeping Frost, Elemental Focus, Control Destruction, and lesser multiple projectiles. A lot of the damage on that is up front, and so we're not having the same amount of risk as we were having before. I should have opened Polab before we got in here. Let's do that now. Okay, nothing till the end rooms anyway. So what have I done to the tree? So the tree's pretty much the same. I've gone for this health, which we didn't go for before. I've also gone for Lightning Walker, which does some damage on Orb of Storms. I've also gone slightly further than here to go and get these. We haven't yet come up here. Instead, I've got this extra stuff. And I've also got Practical Application to give me the 25 Strength and Dexterity, which is needed to power the build early on. We're just about to go back into Rune Binder, ready for when we kill the lab boss. So we stand now with 765 life and 201 shield. So let's see how we get on. So I'll probably exit out of here.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Now the reason I chose Creeping Frost is it's a dot, so it does a cold damage over time once the projectiles explode.
Ooh, the
First trial.
weary traveler draws close to the end of the path.
And just in time for Rune Binder.
The Emperor beckons, and the world attends.
I also mentioned, or have been mentioning throughout the video, that you can attach 2 brands once you get that. With Winterbrand, that's not quite true. You can actually attach 3.
Is a life sentence.
So he's done.
Ambition. This empire remains filled with emperors in waiting.
And I've also stocked up some equipment as well, I think. I got rid of one of these ones and replaced it with a unique shield that I had sitting in my stash tab. Also, in the I mentioned that some of the mana wasn't feeling quite right, or there wasn't quite enough mana to sustain the build. Now, since we didn't get a Lyra. Now, what I've done, I haven't got a Lyra, but what I have done is I picked up an Aziri's Foible. which is this thing. It's amazing for pretty much any character that's struggling with mana early level, because it gives you a massive amount of mana regeneration. Oop, didn't want to do that. Now the other thing I've done, I leveled with pretty much the same skills. I used Wintertide for bosses, this skill for clear. Now you pick both of them up at level 12, so you can get both of them from Nessa. Is that the right one? Probably not. No. It's a dark shrine, so I'm going to go top and middle, which is... second trial.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation.
But the only other thing I forgot, the timer may not be quite where we left off, so we might have flashed back slightly, because the one I just did was slightly quicker.
Are you a martyr? You are inexhaustible.
I also leveled with Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder, just for the additional damage they give you. I've just taken those off and I've gone for Discipline and Malevolence. Malevolence because it gives a passive damage over time buff and skill effect duration. So 14% more damage over time, but also 10% longer on the brand. So the brand now goes for 2.4 seconds attached. And then Discipline gives you a big amount of energy shields, so we've now got over 1,000 again. Hit points. Again, we are still at risk here from chaos damage over time monsters because we have no way of blocking yet
not before.
the skill. Anything that does chaos damage over time. That was pointless. Never that one. Now I've gone this way, it will be. Ow. Where is it? Oh, I killed him already. There is a dark shrine here. That's probably why I wanted to go right. Take bleed damage, I don't mind bleed damage. It's killed.
The pursuit of power can be
Just on rares as well, you can drop the Wintertide to do the extra damage. You can actually drop 3 stacks on it and then hit it with the other skill. Oh, the other change to Orb of Storms is I've got a crit on it, so it's proccing Elemental Overload much more frequently. I should check this. Let's pretend yes. Okay, so there's a Dark Shrine in here, which we want. Yeah, so this is Wintertide. Very slow up front. This is this skill. Very fast up front.
When I'm ready, and not before. Now we got Wintertide on him now. Now you have to forgive me if I talk about something you haven't seen yet, such as curses, which I don't think I have. I don't think I've got there yet. Again, it's kind of confusing because I've been to Act 7 and then reset. This is the final trial.
An aspirant can afford to be promising.
Did I actually get? I didn't get the lab thing, did I? What a waste.
Promises.
Oh well, it is where it is. What are we going for now? Life? No. Let's go
Our
start.
throne is the most devious trap of them all.
Piece of chaos. Piece of chaos. That was a lot better than the last lab I did.
Our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Now, if you do want to see how atrocious the death count was, I can do a video highlighting the montage of deaths. I mean, I'd rather not, but if that's something you'd like to see, I'm happy to oblige. Okay, so in the first lab, we are going Occultist, obviously, and we're going to go down to Void Beacon. So we get cold damage, increased cold damage, increased chaos damage, increased energy shield,
And then we get -20 to cold resist to nearby enemies, -20 to chaos resist to nearby enemies, and nearby enemies are have a 100% reduced life regeneration rate. So they'll be far less tanky. And then the next one we're going Frigid Wake, which allows us to be immune to chill, freeze. It allows us to freeze enemies consistently, and also gives us plus 20% to cold damage over time multiplier. I was level 31 when I entered the lab.
That would just make life complicated.
So, let us go for Zara. I tend to go this way first. Both areas are the same level, but the fire boss does more damage. Sorry, my cable was stuck to my chair. Yeah, you can see, if I move away, there is a dot there. It's small. Much smaller than Wintertide, but again, most of the damage is up front, so you don't get as much incoming damage on you.
When I'm ready, and not before.
You won't escape me, little piggy. Marco will have you for a spit roast.
Now, as far as I know, this section of the arena isn't random, so it's always get the waypoint and go left. Now, in these rooms, you don't really need to stop for anything unless there's a really juicy pack of mobs, blue mobs. Same in this room. Shoot straight through. I hate temporal chains. Then we go to the first arena. Drop one orb on him. So you die.
and then up here will be Azaro.
A king of swords is nothing if he cannot defend his crown. For honor!
The other thing you may have noticed is missing, or not, is Frostbomb. I took it off so I could accommodate the extra links for creeping frost. And he's down.
I'm sorry to have to break.
And actually, the
the truth
combination of that damage for both of
But
them gives
she's
you
not
much more
real.
boss damage as well, because you're getting your full brand damage. But on top of that, you're doing 348 cold damage plus 636 cold damage per second. The cold damage per second on this is actually much higher than the cold damage per second of Wintertide brand. And it really has to be that way, because Wintertide brand gives you something like 400% increased on that damage once you reach 20 stacks. So that's why the damage is all on the end and not the beginning. Although it'd be really nice if it wasn't, because that would be really broken. We haven't got a curse yet, so I'm not going up here. And I think we've already played this in the predecessor. What we do want to do is go over here and come down to these brand nodes, because these give me increased duration. And increased duration lets me get higher at levels of stack. Okay, time to do the fire boss. Check my fire resistance first. If my resistance is low, we're going to get a fire ring just for the fight. 75, no, we're capped.
That would just make life complicated.
Now, when you're walking past her, just talk
Don't
to her,
die,
because she'll take away the item you picked up to free some space from Duressa.
So this is what the inside of the Kairi King's head looks like. I hope they're not all like this.
Now, this frost as well on the frost skill, when you fire it, it actually starts moving towards enemies. Which I'm guessing is why it's called creeping. This is actually quite enjoyable, this
When I'm
creeping
ready
frost,
and
so
not
I may play with it. Go full circle. Good. Now we're probably going to go down here and get these health nodes. Just for some survivability early on. Now, you are going to require a Regal to roll those health nodes off. Or actually, you get a couple of skill books as you level as well to roll stuff off, so you might actually be able to cover it without Regals. Now, what I did find when I was trying to work out if I could make Wintertide viable for the leveling process, is that when you are using Wintertide, if you drop it on the floor before you run into a pack and let it use a couple of activations, and then use Brand Recall on the enemies, because it's already built up some activation and some stacks, it burns a lot better. This works on bosses as well, because you can sort of stand there while the boss is immune, drop them, and then go and speak to him and drop them on the boss, and it will do a lot more damage than you would otherwise. Right, so let's actually go to the town, so we actually end back up in the town when we go back in future. Okay. Now, you don't have to wait for her to stop speaking, she'll open it. As soon as she does, you can go through.
It's not every day you get to walk into a living, breathing nightmare. When I'm ready, and not before. I need more mana.
What's that? That's... You can see Wintertide actually does feel nice once it's charged. It's just so risky to play low level. So what I intend to do is switch over as soon as I can use the cluster jewel I've picked up, which is I think level 54. Because I think that should improve the damage somewhat up front. Because it makes it switch target, and in that brief moment of switching target, it attacks everyone. You'll notice actually when you put Winterbrand on an enemy, it doesn't attack anything around the enemy, even though its area of effect shows. It's only when it detaches. Like here, if you put it on him, nothing around him gets damaged until it drops off. And again, now it drops off and does damage. And again. And what the cluster jewel does is make it detach after 0.3 seconds, or every time you activate, whichever is quicker or slower. No, or more often than every 1.3 of a second. So instead of waiting a second for the monsters to die and then to kill everything, it'll wait a third of a second and then kill everything.
Be happy for me, sister. It's not often we get to erase our failures. Our mistakes can be our greatest achievements.
Okay, now it's time for Malachi.
It seems I've underestimated piety. Good. I like surprises.
We're going to get that because we might want to teleport back to it for speed. But your bosses, and this area is fixed as well, so your bosses are keep going in a straight line down here. And there's Dodri. Now the bosses aren't guaranteed to be in the same arena each time, but what is guaranteed is the arenas will be in the same place. Now I'm not even going to bother using I wasn't even going to bother using Creeping Frost on the grounds that Creeping Frost with Dodri, who fires frequently, would probably get me killed. So using the brand on that was the way forward. And then I just hit the... I'm running two. Val Cold Snap and Val Ice Nova. Cold Snap is the sort of main one. Ice Nova I'm just using because I had it available. One of those will be coming off. I think I'll keep Ice Snap. Back at the harvest. You see, that's quicker than walking back.
A body to kill for. Art in motion. Open up.
Don't like it. I haven't died to him in a long time either.
Be still. You're the greatest form I never sculpted.
I hate to be critical, but I've seen better.
Now you are simply gorgeous. Slice away the ugly. Beauty shall prevail.
After Brutus, I'm glad I won't be seeing any more of your work.
I have been expecting you, witch. You and I are about to create the most beautiful of nightmares together. Will you go to bed now, little girl? Or do I need to tuck you in?
Now, exile! Kill me!
What?
Now, exile!
You don't want to get slammed by him.
Kill me!
I mean, the Wintertide damage is phenomenal on bosses because it's allowed to stack up.
Now, let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare. I gave my life. Nightmare gave me so much more.
Now, just a note, in these arenas, if you're playing a character that uses a totem, which isn't this one, you can drop the totem on those red marks on the floor, so instead of exploding on them, your totems will explode and kill them.
Accept the gift of immortality.
And then this boss basically just stands still once he's in that stage, so we'll talk about that in a second again. Then give you an example just now.
Are you so in love with
So when he
death?
launches his
I'll
tentacle
be
attack like that,
selfish.
get behind him, and he won't attack you because he doesn't move while he's in that tentacle attack. And again. And he's down.
I'm watching you.
Now this is the end of the act.
Ah, well.
So we'll go and speak to Diala,
What?
otherwise known as Not a Cockroach Lady. And we will get Bone Chill. Will we get Bone Chill? Yeah, let's get Bone Chill. Now again, Path of Exile doesn't show Bone Chill as doing extra
The
damage.
gate is open.
I have no particular preference either way. Attack gas speed.
I
have
was
to use.
right to have faith in you, Cursebreaker. You have succeeded.
I'm going to stick that on then for now,
Act with care.
so we can use Bone Chill. As I say, Path of Building doesn't show Bone Chill as doing any damage, but I don't see any reason, reading the description on the gem, why it wouldn't. So I think that may just be a flaw. Now in the alternative universe where we were just using Wintertide, I died in this area twice.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I need more mana.
Yeah, these projectiles actually go quite a way, just because they're detonating because I'm firing close up. Okay, let's start getting this increased duration. So what are we on now? Lasts 2.44 seconds. It now lasts 2.74 seconds. You've been watching Altec 2K. Thank you for watching.